Good morning, class. I am Miss Almeida, your teacher for today. And before we go to our discussion, let us all stand up, bow our heads, and pray. Amen. And before you take your seats, please pick up the pieces of paper under your tables and then arrange your chairs. Okay, you may now take your seat. Is everybody present for today? Very good. Do we have an assignment? None. Okay. Before we go to our lesson, can you give me a short review from what we have discussed last meeting, Anna? Okay, very good. You can now take your seats. And last meeting, we discussed about the volcano and how it forms. Okay, please read the objectives here in front. First is learn that there are beneficial and harmful effects of volcanic eruptions. Second is identify some kinds of volcanic eruptions. Third is discuss the different types of volcanoes. Now, do you have an idea of what is our topic for today, everyone? Okay, so today we're going to discuss about the beneficial and harmful effects of volcanic eruptions in the environment. So, before we start, what is a volcano? A volcano is an opening or rupture in the surface or crust of earth which allows hot, molten rock, ash, and gases to escape from deep below the surface. Ring of fire is this where the region that more than half of the active volcanoes of the world that are above sea level are formed. So how does volcanoes are formed? When plates collide, a volcano is formed. When plates spread apart, a volcano is formed. Volcanoes are formed in the middle of a plate. Now, where volcanoes are formed? Okay, very good. So, there are four main parts of a volcano: the vent, the crater, the pipe, and the cone. The vent is an opening in the surface of the earth through which volcanic materials can escape. The crater is the mouth of a volcano which surrounds the vent. The pipe is composed of a deep, narrow cone of solidified magma, while the cone is a triangular-shaped hill formed as material from volcanic eruption files up around the volcanic vent or opening in Earth's crust. There are four kinds of volcanoes. The first one is the composite or stratovolcano. It is formed by alternating layers of lava and rock fragments. It erupts in an explosive way. So an example of composite or stratovolcano is our Mayon volcano that can be found in Albay. The second one is the shield volcanoes. Shield volcanoes are among the biggest volcanoes. It is made of many layers of runny lava flows, so it is low explosivity. An example of shield volcanoes is the Mauna Loa. So, what is a shield volcanoes, class? Okay, third one is the cinder cone volcanoes. Cinder cone volcanoes are made of lava fragments called cinders. It is low explosivity. So what are the three kinds of volcanoes? Again, composite, shield, and cinder cone. There are two categories of volcanoes: the active and inactive. Active volcanoes, if it has erupted recently or about 10,000 years ago, while inactive, or also known as dormant, is if it has a record of previous eruption. So what are the two categories of volcanoes? N. Okay, active and inactive. Very good. Now, if there are three kinds of volcanoes, there are also three kinds of volcanic eruptions. The first one is the eruptive pulse. It is an explosion with eruption plume. It may last from a few seconds to minutes. The second one is the eruptive phase. It is the numerous eruptions that may alternate between plume and lava surge. It may last from a few hours to days. While the third one is the eruptive episode. It is composed of several phases that may last a few days, months, and years. Now, what are the three kinds of volcanic eruptions? Eruptive pulse, eruptive phase, and eruptive episode. Now, if you have listened on my discussion, then you will be able to answer the following question. I will give 5 points to those students who can answer. Number 1, it is an explosion with eruptive plume. Okay, you can raise your hands if you're going to answer. Okay, Anna, what's the answer? Very good. It is eruptive pulse. Number 2, it is composed of several phases that may last few days, months, and years. What is the answer? Okay, Mark. Very good. It is the eruptive episode. Number 3, it is numerous eruptions that may alternate between plume and lava. What's the answer, Jane? Very good. It is the eruptive phase. There are beneficial and harmful effects of volcanic eruptions. The first one is it attracts tourists and visitors. Is it beneficial or not? Beneficial, very good. Next is it adds nutrients to the soil. Is it beneficial or not? Very good, it is beneficial. Third one is the creation of new islands. Beneficial or not? Very good, beneficial. The fourth one is its release of aerosols. Beneficial or not? Not. Very good. The fifth is acid rain. It is beneficial or harmful? Okay, harmful. And the last one is volcanic eruptions causes or have the effects of abandoning of land and homes. It is harmful or beneficial? Harmful. Very good. Now, get 1/2 sheet of paper and answer the following questions. Okay, done. At the back of your paper, answer the following by putting a check if it can bring beneficial effects and wrong if not. Number 1, creation of new island. Second is abandoning of lands and homes. Third is attracts tourists and visitors. Fourth is add nutrients to the soil. And the last is acid rain. Okay, everybody then? Exchange your papers to your seatmates and then put check if he or she's answer is correct. The answer for the question number 1 is a volcano is an opening or rupture in the surface or crust of earth. From 2 to 4, the 4 parts of volcano are the vent, crater, pipe, and cone. For the number 5 to 6, the answer is active or inactive. The answer for 7, 8 and 9 is it attracts tourists or visitors, it adds nutrients to the soil, and it creates a new island. From the last number, 10, one of the harmful effects of volcanoes is it can release aerosols, acid rain, and the abandoning of lands and homes. And from the back, 1 to 5, number 1 is checked, number 2 is wrong, number 3 is checked, number 4 is checked, and number 5 is wrong. Okay, who get the perfect score? Please raise your hands. Very good. Then please pass your answer sheets here in front. And then before we end to our lesson, please write your assignments in your notebook, and please read everybody the directions. On a 1/2 crosswise, write in 5 to 6 sentences the effects of volcanic eruptions. Pass it. Next meeting, November 3, 2022, Thursday.